I'm Paramjit Sembhi and I'm a Senior Designer for Airfix, and I designed the 144 SLS Artemis. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was obviously completely different. It was a lot more simple in shape, but then introduced its own struggles and challenges in the kit. But no, it was definitely a cool project, and something I'm glad I was a part of. I think the detail is quite simple, but it's just almost something like you have an SLS Artemis in kit form, and it goes together fairly well, I hope. That modelers like it as well. And then obviously you've got the upper stage that can be detached as well. It was also trying to make it simple, but not too simple, and then obviously not overcomplicate it. It was the main struggle was actually trying to find the right balance. Yeah, I mean, I think the challenge for this was that I couldn't obviously go see it, so I did offer to go see it, but sadly it was declined on multiple occasions. I was like, I'm more than happy to go see it, that's fine. But yeah, the main challenge was obviously not having to see it physically, just going by research, and obviously they were still building it as well, sort of, at that time. It was more or less done, but that was the hard part, just trying to get information for it, which was a bit of a challenge, and obviously not seeing it in real life. That's because you need to see it in real life just to get a feel for it. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I mean, you guys organised that, so I was quite chuffed with that. When you said, "Oh, we're sending it to space," I was like, "What do you mean you're sending it into space?" But you literally were sending it to space, which was pretty cool. I was like showing my family about it as well, and yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, so research had done most of the work for us, had a nice research document, and the key thing was we had a model that was on the NASA website that's open source, or like free for public consumption. So we just sort of had that, put that to the right scale, and then just used it as a rough guide. I mean, just to get the like really rough dimensions, because it's not obviously perfect. And then using that and pictures. It's not like how we usually use scan data for aircraft, helicopters and stuff like that. It's not like anything like that. It was just a very simple shape. Yeah, so as we're filming this, we're filming in February 2026, get my year right. And I think I'd done this about 2 to 3 years ago. And that was when the design was finalized. I think I'd done this around Jaguar time. I think it was before Jaguar or after Jaguar. But yeah, no, a nice, cool project. A nice, good mojo project. It was pretty good. That's the best way to put it. Yeah, so you can see the model behind me. The core stage is all more or less one piece. The bottom of it, that white section, is a separate piece, but I was actually initially designing it, the core stages, to be the separate parts, because you got the hydrogen and then you got the oxygen parts of it. But then that just sort of goes back to the beginning where I was saying just needed to find the right balance of having a nice simple kit and obviously not overcomplicating it, but then also not making it too simple as well. So yeah, that was one of the early things I was doing in terms of the design stage, but just sort of rolled it back a bit. The capsule that the crew come back in, some people were saying, oh, how comes that wasn't included? But again, it just was to make it not to overcomplicate it, and also the scale wise, it doesn't suit this sort of scale, because obviously it needs to fit inside the model. I think something like that would be better as a different project, maybe a slightly bigger scale. Maybe just doing that separate section. I think that it bodes well to that rather than putting it inside this. The framework on the upper stage was actually quite a complicated thing to do. Trying to get that all right, and obviously there were some things that I needed to leave out just due to the fact of like cost and moldability of some parts. But no, I was quite happy with it, and working out that rotation for the upper stage. I was in two minds about how to do that and whether I should do it or not. But again, I just wanted to give the modeler the choice, because you can just build it without it or do it and then glue that section on. or you can just sort of rotate it and then take it off, and then you've got another separate part of the model. Funnily enough, when I was actually doing this, I built the Lego Saturn V and a 1/72nd scale model of the Saturn V. So I was in that like sort of zone in terms of like space stuff. So I was quite happy when I was designing that, in terms of this is what I want to do, this is how I want, and it provided a pretty good challenge and a really fun project in the end.